All right, so it's about to be 2024 in a few hours. And because I like inspiring people and sharing stories, I like to share a truth and a story with you. So I deal with mental health and I help other people with their mental health shit. And I specifically deal with veterans, but I'm open to helping other people too, right? A lot of the people I help are veterans. And if you're a veteran listening to this is like real talk. So, I used to be a United States Marine, served 11 years, 8 deployments. I saw a lot of shit. I dealt with a lot of shit. And when I got out, even when I was in the military, I was diagnosed with PTSD and I was diagnosed with TBI. Very similar symptoms for both. And sometimes it's hard to tell what you have without doing a brain scan and stuff like that. And even some of these brain scans, they're kind of weird, and not everybody has the same kind of TBI. And it's interesting, and that's kind of why I got into this work, to help other people. But it was really, I got into this work because I wanted to help myself. I wanted to get better. And let me tell you, life was rough getting out. I was in and out of hospitals. I was medicated the wrong way. I medicated the wrong way. And I was just in this constant state of anger and dealing with depression and all sorts of shit, right? That I had to go see a lot of specialists. Like, on active duty, I was seeing like 6 different doctors. Outside, and being a veteran, I was seeing a few. And I was working with a lot of nonprofits that were trying to help me in any way that they could, which was awesome. But going through all that stuff, whether it was the medication, the treatment, the therapy, it was hard. It was hard bringing up the past. It was hard dealing with the pain. It was hard because I was heavily influenced on the kind of medication that I was taking. That was the wrong medication to take, especially now that I'm in the mental health field. I know how to treat people, but like there's all these considerations that I felt like people didn't take. So I was messed up and then got even more messed up, and it hurt relationships I was in. It hurt all sorts of stuff, but really it hurt me and the life and quality of life that I had to make huge changes. And one of the things that got to me was going through therapy. I would go to therapy once a week, right? And I would going for years, and whether it helped me or not, like it was just a person to listen to me, right? And talk through my experiences and find solutions to redirect and reroute the way that I was thinking, so I didn't have to suffer so much. And then I started really getting into the work of being a social worker, and then graduated my bachelor's, got my master's, specialized in behavioral mental health, studied medicine, the types of medicine to help people with mental health issues, studied different types of therapy and why it works and why we do these kind of things, because there's all sorts of therapy that are out there. And believe it or not, the forms of therapy that I was being introduced to were the wrong things for me. And it's crazy because even still to this day, I deal with the same shit. I've just had years of therapy and telling myself it's gonna be okay, that you are enough, that you are loved, and that it's safe. Because I was so hypervigilant. I wanted to fight everybody because I thought they were the bad guy. And I had to keep those feelings in for a very long time. And it was only until I realized how therapy can help somebody that I wanted to be a part of that and help other people process those feelings and how to redirect it and shift it to something else, right? That's why I got into jiu-jitsu. That's why I got into a bunch of other things. That's why I went to school, just keeping my mind busy, right? Even finding people, friends, loved ones, a significant other can definitely help your state of mind when you're dealing with these kind of things, regardless if it's PTSD or TBI. They're kind of the same. One is more chemical based and the other one is more of a physical state of your processing unit in your head. but they give off a lot of the same chemicals and stop some chemicals from being produced to not make you feel and experience those really bad thoughts and behaviors. Anyways, so here I am, wanting to share that if you're dealing with some shit, go talk to somebody, go be with somebody, find somebody who makes you happy. And let me tell you, the kind of chemicals that you create because of that positivity of being around other people can definitely change everything. I'm gonna be honest with you right now. Whether or not I hang out with people or I'm with somebody or I'm with a group of people, I still deal with my shit. I still get really angry. I still get super depressed, and I have to deal with it. And therapy has helped me manage those behaviors by breathing, by thinking of something else, by letting go. Because it's always going to be there. Like, I can't hide it. As much as I can. Like, I know I'm hiding it from everybody else, but I can't hide it from myself. And as a professional, knowing what to do and then being somebody who has to do those things to manage, I eat my own bullshit. And it's bullshit because, like, I don't want to do it. Nobody ever wants to stop real quick, think of something else, think of like a yellow bird, count to 10 backwards, think of like 7 different colors in the room so I could get my mind off of that one particular intrusive thought that is creating bad chemicals in my body, giving me that fight or flight response that's making me angry, that's making me depressed, that's giving me anxiety. I have to deal with that, and I have to do those things. But that's not saying that there are people out there to help you. Just being around buddies, that's a form of therapy. You don't need anybody who specializes in it. Shit is bothering you, just fucking tell people, right? I like to talk to myself. Like, I look in the mirror, I'm like, dude, Raymond, what the fuck is going on? And it's crazy because I respond. But I deal with my shit, and that's how I deal with it. But it's only because I went through that therapy and I got the help that I needed instead of living and suffering every day. Like, yeah, there's still struggles every day, but we can manage those struggles by breathing, by self-talk, by rationalizing what the hell is going on. Because when we realize that there's no reason for me to get mad, then it's like, man, why was I mad in the first place? I've been talking a lot about hiking lately. And one of the really awesome things about hiking across the country, or just hiking in general, is you carry a lot of weight when you are doing through hikes or just camping out or whatever. Do you really want to carry all that weight? Is it worth it if you're not going to use something? Like, I'm telling you, doing a couple miles is one thing. Doing a couple dozen miles sucks. And especially when you're doing it every single day. And it's kind of like life. Like, you're hiking with all of this weight, this burden that you have on you. Sometimes it's just good to let go. And even though we let these things go, it doesn't mean they're gone forever. They're still there, but you have to consciously let it go. I'm dealing with a lot of shit right now because of like a previous relationship that I was in. And it sucks. But you know what? I have to get over it. I have to just let it go. There's nothing I could do to fix it, to make it better. And even though at times when you talk about therapy, especially relationships, you can work on it. But there comes a point where 2 grown-ass adults have to make the decision that you both want something, and it seemed like we didn't. And people deal with relationship issues that I talk to and everything, but little did you know I had my own. But it is what it is, man. Like, people come and go in your life, and it's kind of like, this is to my veteran community, it's kind of like going to your next duty station. You leave everybody behind. You could still be friends with them, you could still communicate with them, but you're gonna be too busy, and life is gonna go on, and your past is gonna fade away. It doesn't mean it's not a part of you and you can't be friends again. It just means it's just time to let those kind of relationships go. And go on to the next and the new. And one of the interesting things about another year coming is everybody thinks about their life. And, how do you feel? You're 1 year older. But life is life. Life is always fleeting. Just like realize that time is disappearing. And if you're not making the best of what you have, then you're not making the best of what you have. At my age, there's a lot of people that are struggling with weight and obesity and gravity. And I've just been fortunate to keep up with my health and do things that make me feel good and feel better physically. And I try to project it onto other people because some of my peers, they're not looking so well. And I'm sorry that you are going through what you're going through, but you can invest a little bit more into your life. And that's what I've been doing a lot lately, is investing into my physical me and dabbling into some psychological me along the way, especially, the field that I'm in. I have to keep up with a lot of stuff, so I'm always watching weird stuff and going down all these really crazy rabbit holes. And it's how do we just change these behaviors that are making you feel this way? And that's the key to therapy. I don't need to be nosy. I don't need to know your life. I just need to know how to help you so we can move on. I don't want you to be my patient for more than a year. I want to help you now, and then if we could figure it out, then we're done. And I've been really fortunate to have the experience of being in therapy and then understanding therapy, studying therapy, different modalities of therapy, studying the books about these things. And some of them are dumb. I'm not gonna lie, they're really dumb. They sound cool. It's great to have money to pay for them, but at the end of the day, it's not really targeting behavior, and that's what we deal with in therapy, is behavior. So I'm not saying everything that I do works, but for the most part, just sitting down as a friend, talking with somebody, rationalizing it with them. Yet you could say I'm providing therapy, or I'm just being a friend, a human being, a person that wants to help and listen. And sometimes hearing the perspective of another person while you're going through some shit is very valuable, because the person who is struggling with their behaviors, emotions, sensations, experiences, and feelings is not thinking straight. I can tell you right now, that's what therapy is for, to help you think straight in a time of chaos. And when your brain is just collecting up all of this shitty chemicals like cortisol and, with whatever state that you're in, the other producing chemicals that are there, versus sitting down with somebody that you can talk to and getting dopamine because they're such a good person, they feel good to talk to you, and then all of a sudden the person puts their hands on you, gives you a hug, and then all of a sudden you have oxytocin, the trust hormone, the love hormone, and you feel a whole lot better. And that dopamine makes it feel good, right? And when we talk about relationships, sometimes our partners make us feel that way. And when you break up with them, kind of what I'm going through right now, you get this dopamine fix, this thing that felt so good, and now you don't have it. Going through withdrawals. It sucks. But with proper training and therapy and talking and just good and better habits, you can definitely get better and move on and let things go. Food for thought. You talk about all things all day. Wherever you are, stay safe, stay in the fight, and I'll see you next time.